Our little craft was soon in good order. From the spare rigging brought along, we made shrouds to the mast, and converted the boat hook into a handy boom for the jib. Going large before the wind, we set this sail wing and wing with the mainsail. The latter, in accordance with the customary rig of whaleboats, was worked with a sprit and sheet. It could be furled or set in an instant. The bags of bread we stowed away in the covered space about the loggerhead, a useless appurtenance now, and therefore removed. At night Jarl used it for a pillow, saying that when the boat rolled it gave easy play to his head. The precious breaker we lashed firmly amidships, thereby much improving our sailing. Now, previous to leaving the ship, we had seen to it well that our craft was supplied with all those equipments with which, by the regulations of the fishery, a whaleboat is constantly provided, night and day, afloat or suspended. Hanging along our gunwales inside were 6 harpoons, 3 lances, and a blubber spade, all keen as razors and sheathed with leather. Besides these, we had 3 waifs, a couple of 2-gallon water kegs, several bailers, the boat hatchet for cutting the whale line, 2 auxiliary knives for the like purpose, and several minor articles, also employed in hunting the Leviathan. The line and line tub, however, were on shipboard. And here it may be mentioned that to prevent the strain upon the boat when suspended to the ship's side, the heavy whale line, over 200 fathoms in length and something more than an inch in diameter, when not in use, is kept on shipboard, coiled away like an endless snake in its tub. But this tub is always in readiness to be launched into the boat. Now, having no use for the line belonging to our craft, we had purposely left it behind. But well had we marked that by far the most important item of a whaleboat's furniture was snugly secured in its place. This was the watertight keg, at both ends firmly headed, containing a small compass, tinderbox and flint, candles, and a score or 2 of biscuit. This keg is an invariable precaution against what so frequently occurs in pursuing the sperm whale: prolonged absence from the ship, losing sight of her, or never seeing her more till years after you reach home again. And this same keg of ours seemed coopered up life and death, at least so it seemed to honest Jarl. No sooner had we got clear from the Arcturion, than dropping his oar for an instant, he clutched at it in the dark. And when day at last came, we knocked out the head of the keg with the little hammer and chisel always attached to it for that purpose, and removed the compass, that glistened to us like a human eye. Then, filling up the vacancy with biscuit, we again made all tight, driving down the hoops till they would budge no more. At first we were puzzled to fix our compass, but at last the Skyeman out knife, and cutting a round hole in the aftermost thwart, or seat of the boat, there inserted the little brass case containing the needle. Over the stern of the boat, with some old canvas which my Viking's forethought had provided, we spread a rude sort of awning, or rather counterpane. This, however, proved but little or no protection from the glare of the sun, for the management of the mainsail forbade any considerable elevation of the shelter. And when the breeze was fresh, we were fain to strike it altogether, for the wind being from aft and getting underneath the canvas, almost lifted the light boat's stern into the air, vexing the counterpane as if it were a petticoat turning a gusty corner. But when a mere breath rippled the sea, and the sun was fiery hot, it was most pleasant to lounge in this shady asylum. It was like being transferred from the roast to cool in the cupboard. And Jarl, much the toughest fowl of the 2, out of an abundant kindness for his comrade, during the day voluntarily remained exposed at the helm, almost 2 hours to my 1. No ladylike scruples had he, the old Viking, about marring his complexion, which already was more than bronzed. Over the ordinary tanning of the sailor, he seemed masked by a visor of japanning, dotted all over with freckles, so intensely yellow and symmetrically circular that they seemed scorched there by a burning glass. In the tragico-comico moods which at times overtook me, I used to look upon the brown Skyeman with humorous complacency. If we fall in with cannibals, thought I, then, ready-roasted Norseman that thou art, shall I survive to mourn thee. At least, during the period I revolve upon the spit. But of such a fate, it needs hardly be said, we had no apprehension. CHAPTER 11.